الحمد لله نحمده ونستعينه ونستغفره ونؤمن به ونتوكل عليه ونعوذ بالله من شرور أنفسنا ومن سيئات أعمالنا من يهده الله فلا مضل له ومن يضلل فلا هادي له ونشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له ونشهد أن سيدنا ومولانا وشفيعنا محمدا عبده ورسوله أما بعد فقال له تبارك وتعالى في الكلام القديم أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم يا أيها الذين آمنوا أنفقوا مما رزقناكم من قبل أن يأتي يوم لا بيع فيه ولا خلة ولا شفاعة والكافرون هم الظالمون. صدق الله العظيم. After greetings, my dear brothers and sisters, and recognizing the bountiful, most gracious, merciful nature of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and recognizing also Him sending to us the mercies of all the words and the personality of Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and also recognizing all the boons and favors that He has given us throughout the years, and especially this year that is about to end. We recognize the coming of the new year 1435. We recognize the sacredness of this period and this month that is coming and the months that have gone by. We also recognize, my dear brothers and sisters, and we must be aware and not be softened by the happenings of society, community, and the culture that we are engrossed in. That this period, we should recognize the period of ASJA. We should prepare ourselves to fast. We should fast as often as possible, and look more so to do so on the 9th and 10th or 10th and 11th, recognizing the sacrifices of the past Muslims and us, the favors we have received from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala by His bounties, but also by the sacrifices of those who have gone in the past. And how fortunate we are, the least we can do, my dear brothers and sisters, is recognize the period and respond to the period by at least fasting, at least saying that we are thankful to be alive, and we can at least show that we are linking with the past. The verse that I have read, Surah 2, verse 254, says, "O you believe, spend." And when we hear spend, all of us realize that we think our money, and we start to close up a little bit, natural, because we don't want to spend our money. But spend what? Spend out of the bounties. Money is part of the bounty, of course. have provided for you. The bounties, my dear brothers and sisters, I want us to think of all the other bounties except one. Nothing else about it. So we think about all bounties except money. The dictionary would say, when you say spend, you know what the dictionary says, all of us related, pay out money. To buy or hire goods or services, pay out money. But it also says pass time in a particular way. Use up energy or resources. And you want to concentrate on pass time in a special way and use up energy or resources. So spend according to the culture, according to the dictionary, and spend as stated in Surah and concentrated more on the part more spiritual connection, more time, more resources, etc. We have provided for you before the day comes when no bargaining will avail, no friendship, no intercession. Those who reject faith, they are the wrongdoers. We are saying, we are talking about, we are investigating ourselves. And you know, now it's a whole year. We are prepared for a new year. Now it's as good as any time to examine ourselves and do some introspection. But do not hold good works both in Islam and talking about Islam specifically. I'm saying it so that I want you to form a disconnection with anything but Islam, a disconnection with culture, a disconnection with learning anything other than Quran, Hadith, etc. If you can, I invite you to do that. Good works within Islam include everything that advances the good of one that is in need, whether a neighbor or a stranger, or that advances the good of the community. We are dealing with those things. The good of ourselves and the good of the community. Or even the good of the person himself, ourselves, to whom Allah has given the bounty. So all the bounties, the ability to speak. And speak that which you have learned by reading from Quran, that which you have experienced, practices and seen, or heard of or read the practices of the Prophet. Not, I want you to separate learning by rote, by watching some people who are not learned properly. And we have many such persons who have learned through cultural linking and through society connection, etc. Separate it, if you can. But it must be real good. This is what the Quran is saying. It must be real good. So if there's real good, there's also the perception that some may perceive good to be good. That is not good. Because the commentaries say real good. So we have to separate two good. Follow my dear difficult, right? But try to think. And you don't know, we don't know, children don't know that society, what may be good in society is not good for us. And they say, think real bad, if you think real bad, it's not good for them. So my dear brothers and sisters, I want you to think purely Islamic culture and not culture or there. And there should be no admixture. That's not all. active. And that's what we, society, children, us, we are learning what we see. And what we see stays more with us than what we read. And I'll tell you how and why. There should be no admixture of baser motives, baser, low, undesirable, not acceptable, not real good in Islam, such as vainglory, things that promote the ego and promote the self, not spiritual, or false indulgence or encouragement of idleness, or playing of one's person against another. And we see it when we watch television. We watch young wrestlers soap, the Indian soap, bombarding the television, all the station about this one playing up against that one, and we've seen it played in society with our brothers and our sisters, our children, and practicing what they see on television. And there are people who are showing up with their I first would think, what matters? But they are not mad. They know why they are showing up with their. The bounties include mental, this is the bounty, the mental capacity, the spiritual gifts, as well as this mentioned first. The mental capacity, the spiritual gifts of before wealth and material gifts. We look at man's concept of spending and paying, and Islamic concept of spending. We must, in Islamic concept of spending and giving, you must de-emphasize self, ego, the basal self, the greed, that naturally comes to us. And on one side you are de-emphasizing yourself or not promoting yourself, and the other side you have that bombarding our schools, our homes, society all around, the promotion of self with the culture, the Americanized culture, and the world view, shaping our thinking, shaping the thinking of our children that we have to battle with. And shaping our thinking also. In how we see things. Because people make us see things how they want us to see things. And we are seeing things now how others want us to see on the television, the computer, the iPad, the iPod, forcing us to see. And people are now coming to religious leaders, to spiritual leaders, and saying, you know, the child getting married. And the child is really getting married. Because they're watching children's show that is doctored. Doctored how? Everybody going high-tech, including all of us. Everybody going computer literate, including all of us. So Shaitan has not gone computer literate too. Shaitan has gone computer literate also. So he's through the computers. People are using these programs to, just like they are things like that, with CD and some of those confectionery stuff. What they use like nicotine to catch the people who buy that music, television, the programs that we are buying for our children, all of us, exposing our children are getting our children crazy. The shayateen and the shaytanic elements are in it. And we don't expose our children freely to it. Freely. And this is what we are dealing with in the schools, in the nation, in the country, in the world. And then we say they they are man. How can we, my dear brothers and sisters, counteract what is happening without being separated of what is happening and apart from? Because we are living in a society that is culturalizing us. But we have to make sure that we become Sirajul Munira. Sirajul Munira, not the enlightened one, enlightened by the culture of the unacceptable, but the culture of the acceptable. When Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala would have commanded our Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam to read, he said, "Iqra." He didn't read what he learned culturally. He asked, "What shall I read?" Read in the name of the Lord who created you, created man from blood. Read, and thy Lord is most bounteous, who teacheth by the pen, teacheth man that which he knew not. Nay, but very man is rebellious, but he thinketh of himself, and here the word coming again, independent. Man, us, me, all of us, we want to be independent. So we are educated. We think we are educated, and we don't have to read, we just learn through the television, through the computer, etc. And we don't go back to the source of all knowledge, the source of all enlightenment, the Quran. We cannot become the enlightened ones by lighting the earth, by lighting up the place with bulbs, etc. We have to become enlightened through education from the source of all education. And that is, and only reading. First of all, directly reading. Because an unlettered person was commanded to read. And not learn by word, by listening. Of course we learn that word also. But we have a duty, my dear brothers and sisters, that is incumbent upon us to read directly the words of the Quran. Regardless if we can understand it or not initially, the command is read Surah Allah. We need to start there, we need to go back there, and become enlightened ones. Let us not be robotized, become robots, because that is what the world paradigm, the computerization, the technology is doing to our children, our people. The thinking process, critical analysis and thinking is being erased gradually from people. And therefore, my dear brothers and sisters, we have to go back to read. Our boys have stopped reading a long time now. And that is why men are in trouble. And women are leading the country. Right? They have educated themselves more because they read a little more, they sit down a little more. Right? And now it's worse. So my dear brothers and sisters, from the angle of an educator and the commanded here in the Quran, the enlightenment, we should practice this of our God. It's a diary. Sit down with our children, read the Quran, try to go through the English reading, etc. Read some of the NEP. None of us do regularly. We should do that so that all children will see, and they are seeing out there what is going on, so they are learning more of what they see. They see on the television, they use the computer, and they are not telling them. So we have to be kind of their brothers and sisters and go, take go. Not equal, and we are using this, not equal are those who know to those who don't know. But we don't know enough. They don't know, we don't know. But by their brothers and sisters, let us make sure when we think we know, when we feel we know something from the greatest book for Quran. And we don't know what people tell us to show us on the television. Now let's help us to become more enlightened. To be the people, and we are made to be people who enlighten ourselves, become Siro, Jumiro. May He cause us to enlighten ourselves, enlighten our families, our homes, our children, enlighten our Jamaat, and be the light of society and the world. May He cause us to link, inshallah, to His boundaries, and therefore be good receptacles of His boundaries and mercies, inshallah. بارك الله لنا ولكم في القرآن العظيم ونفعنا وإياكم بالآيات